Stop the music. And yeah, we're live. What's going on? How's it going? It's Friday night, time for a live stream. So we are doing our little bit of question and answer to start things off, and then we will get into our no, we're not creating an adventure tonight. We're doing something different. We're creating magic items tonight. So that is what we're doing. Where's my chat? I think my chat needs to show me. Come on, work chat. There it is. Beautiful. That's beautiful. Thank you, sir. Appreciate that. All right, sweet. So, agenda, yes. Question and answer. Hashtag question in all caps if you have a question for us, and we'll get you some answers. No guarantee that they're any good. And then we're going to be doing, oh, yes, we have a giveaway tonight. We will be giving you away. Everyone gets. No, not everyone gets. One person, one lucky winner will get. Where's my screen? Come on, baby. Where's my screen? Some of these things, I love to give these away. These things are awesome, tactical tokens. So one person will get some of these, and yeah, that'll be cool. So we will do that at some point tonight. People in the stream are those that are eligible. So basically the way we do this, if you have never joined us before, is we, do the giveaway during the stream. At the end of the stream, I pull the winner, and somebody wins these things, and I ship them to you. That's how it works. It's cool. Yeah. So it's fun. It's a lot of fun stuff. All right. So let's get some questions going on. Let's do the question stuff. Joe M, what up, dude? Good to see you, buddy. Joe M here, sporting the ancient dragon little, what do you call this thing? Badge next to his name. He's one of my ancient dragon patrons. He plays D&D with me. It's fun. When do we play next? I think we play in like 2 weeks or something like that. Oh yeah, it's cool. They just got their hireling killed. There was this, so my ancient dragon players, they were going into this dungeon, okay, and they have a hireling who is a healer, a cleric, and for whatever reason they don't like her. I don't know why. Joe could probably tell you. And there was this pit full of bones, and they ask the cleric hireling to go first. And she's kind of a moron, so she goes first. And sure enough, the bones animate around her, and they begin attacking her. And everybody else is out of the pit, and they start shooting the bones. But, of course, the skeletons kill the cleric, who is now dead. And now they don't have their hireling, whom they didn't really like anyway, but she was their healer. Like, she was the one that healed them. So I don't know why, but anyway, yeah, they intentionally killed their hireling, I feel. So yeah, it was beautiful. And they somehow think that the next hireling they get is going to be any better. Like, every hireling they hire is going to be a moron. Because I'm role-playing them. March 11th. Okay, cool. Looking forward to that. Hailtorm. The Hailtorm thing originated with my Sword Coast Guard group. There's a beautiful story around how that happened. But we probably want to hear people answer questions, because Luke talks about his stupid D&D games all the time, and we probably want to get some questions answered. We my guess. Philip Ketchup's in the house. What up, dude? How's it going, Ketchup? Cthulhu. Hello, Nithrius. Galen, what up, dude? Good to see you. He's sporting the wrench. I liked one of the things I thought was cool about streaming on Twitch is instead of like the moderators, they have swords, which I thought was really cool. Here on YouTube, they have wrenches, I wish I could give you a sword, Galen. That would be so much cooler than a wrench. Daisy, hello. Help Action. What up, dude? I'm just going to read some names here. Happily Twisted. Yo, Gregory. Rainfire. What up, Huber? Huber? I don't know how it goes, man. But that name's easier than Kamasmud. All right. Anyway. Oh, Deep Fried Butter Boy. Yes. Awesome. Hey, where's like the chicken? There's some chicken killer. Ninja chicken killer or something. That dude came into the streams a few times, man, and he had the best name in the world. It was like something about killing chickens, chicken assassin or something. Oh man, that was really cool. That was a sweet name. All right. Anyway, do we have a spreadsheet going on? Moderators, do we have a spreadsheet? I should probably be more organized for these things. Where's my Discord? Where's Discord? Do we have if we have a spreadsheet kicking around, could you put a link to it in our Discord? Moderators, I'd appreciate that because I know it's the exact same link that we use every single time, and I'm probably going to ask for it every single time. Thank you, sir. Appreciate that. All right, cool. Let's get Daisy's question. She's a new DM, and I love new DMs. Well, they're killing each other, but the cats are off camera, so there's no sense in going to the cat cam at this moment. But yeah, the cats are beginning to kill each other already, so that's good. I like new dungeon masters because like we need new dungeon masters all the time in the game. As more and more people get into the hobby, there's always going to be demand for dungeon masters, and so and it takes courage to do it because like a lot of times. You do it. Wayne Browser Jr. dropping the 50 spot. Thank you, sir. Appreciate that. You rock. Enjoy. Oh, I will enjoy. I'll go take my wife out somewhere. I always say that. And then she's always working, so I can never take her. It's like, well, you want to stop going to work someday, and then I'll be able to take you out, and we'll have fun on Wayne's money. So like it takes courage to be a DM because like a lot of times like you have no idea where you're going to start and what you're going to do. You know, it's just like, oh, great. I have this book, which is kind of worthless. It doesn't really tell me a whole lot about being a dungeon master. And you just kind of feel your way through it. And so, yeah, it's just doing it, just stepping out of your comfort zone and doing it is to be commended, in my opinion. All right, anyway, that was my little soapbox. Daisy says, I'm a new DM and my players are adding a bunch of resistances to their characters. What is this and should I allow it? How are they adding resistances? So like resistance is when they take half damage from certain things. So if I have resistance to acid damage, I take half damage from that resistance. So like if they're using normal game features, like there are spells that they can get that will add resistances as part of their character classes, then you do nothing. That's part of the game. You allow them to do that, and that's life. That's part of what their characters can do. That's part of the spells that they have, right? If they're just making crap up and cheating, that's a different story. But if it's part of what their characters are able to do, then you do nothing. You just run your game like you ordinarily would because they're having those resistances is just part of what they're able to do. Now, if it gets to a point where they're resistant to so many things that it's difficult to challenge them because of those resistances, then you just bump up things a little bit. You throw a few more monsters at them. You beef up the monsters a little bit. You have them do a little bit more damage because you do want to make sure that they are challenged from time to time. Or if the game is an easy button, it gets boring. So you want to have some challenging stuff too, you know. So, hope that helps. Venom Lightning says, any tips that are less common for beginning DMs? I don't know. Like, this is interesting because, like, there's been a couple live streams in a row, like, people will, like, just ask me for general tips. And, like, I always give you a blank look when you ask for general tips. And I'm just like, I don't know where to even, like... I actually have like 5 videos that I did, I think about a year and a half ago, and it literally is just 50 tips for Dungeon Masters. Like I just fire off 50 tips for Dungeon Master. I think I do 10 per video. So like you can go look at those if you want. Like my standard like if you give me a specific question, I'll give you a specific answer. But if I get a general question like any tips, my tip is always going to be relax, have fun, and expect to not do very well. You know, expect for it to be a little painful. Expect to not be very good until you've done a little bit and you get practice at it. You know, like the first time you do anything in life, you probably suck. So don't be surprised when dungeon mastering is hard the first time or the first year. And there are skills you need to learn. There are things you need to learn. It's just, that's the way it is. So don't be discouraged when that happens. Don't be surprised. That's the same thing for everything in life, you know. And hopefully, you know, just hopefully your players are cool about that. And if they have some high expectations that you're going to be amazing the first time dungeon mastering, well, then they're morons. Because it's an unrealistic expectation. I just called everybody morons. Not everybody. My Chicken King, my favorite magic item is one of the magic items we're going to create tonight. Is it possible for the spreadsheet to paste the questions where they're not all in caps? Like, reading all caps is challenging. If that's possible, that'd be awesome. like my moderators. Like, all caps, everything, we're shouting. I don't know. All right. Next question. My favorite race, I don't know. Tabaxi. Because it's a cat. I don't know. Oh, it's always half elf. Half elf. Absolutely. Half elf. They have tons of awesome. I'm a min-maxer. Surprise. So, like, I always build a half elf if I can because they have so many good benefits. How important is encumbrance to you? How do you handle it? So Eric, it's interesting you would ask that question. Oh, thank you. We just lower capped everything. It's interesting you would ask that question, Eric, because I just created a revised encumbrance system for folks, and I posted it over on my Discord server. If you haven't joined my Discord server, folks, there's a link down in the description. Dungeon Masters over there helping each other out, advice, questions, blah. It's really cool. Lots of cool folks over there. But I posted that over my Discord server for folks. So traditionally, historically, I have not really paid a whole bunch of attention to encumbrance, but I kind of, what I want to do though, what I kind of got kicking around in my mind is I want to make some of the ability scores that we have more meaningful. Like, for instance, if I'm a wizard, strength has no meaning. Unless there's something kind of important tied to strength, such as my carrying capacity, what I can carry. Like, if I dump strength as low as possible, and then I can no longer carry maybe all the things I want to carry, well, then strength becomes more meaningful for something like a wizard, or a bard or something. The caveat to that, however, is that tracking carrying capacity and encumbrance is usually a big fat pain in the butt, and most people hate it because it is a logistical headache. And logistics in a game usually are just paperwork, bullcrap. People don't like it. It's not fun. So the thing is that if you want to make encumbrance a thing where it's meaningful in the game, you also can't have it be too rules heavy and too difficult to implement, because then people don't like it and they don't want to do it. Have you ever been in a game where the Dungeon Master is like, we're going to track the weight you carry and we're going to do that? And then, like, everybody's like, oh, gee. All the players are like, oh, gosh. And so then for the first couple of game sessions, you're, like, constantly recalculating your total weight carried and stuff like that. And then you're just kind of, like, paying attention. And if it looks like the Dungeon Master's actually not going to be double-checking you, you just kind of, like, forget about updating your weight carried. You just kind of, like, forget about it because it's a big pain in the butt. If the Dungeon Master never asks about it, then, well, whatever, let's just don't ask, don't tell sort of thing. So, yeah, the encumbrance has to be, if you want, it's got to be something that's lightweight enough and easy enough to use where people don't just, like, hate it and not want to do it. So I'm working on a system that tries to do that as much as possible. And I actually, I'm tweaking it a little bit and finessing it a little, and then I'm going to do a video about it on my channel, and I will have a nice little PDF that you guys can all have that explains the system. I mean, essentially the system is available over my Discord, but my buddy John and I did a little bit of brainstorming on it, and we tweaked it some more. And the final tweaks are not available quite yet. So anyway, that's my long response to your very simple question. I suppose. Yeah, Joe, that's exactly it. It lasts about 2 game sessions, then everyone ignores it because even the Dungeon Master's like, okay, that was a bad idea. I should never have said that. I'm just going to not say anything and hope my players just stop tracking what they're carrying. KMASMD. Can't pronounce that name. You have no vowels. Well, you have one vowel. You need more vowels if you want me to be able to pronounce your name. Anyway, the question is, would you ever allow the healing cantrip? It's on D&D Beyond homebrew area. Well, if it is a homebrew spell, there's a almost 100% assured possibility or whatever chance that I would not allow it. Usually when folks homebrew stuff, it gets stupid overpowered. That's just the nature of things. And it's a healing cantrip. Like, what does it do? Like there are no cantrips that heal people. No, you can't allow a healing cantrip. Are you crazy? Cantrips you can cast infinite amounts of times. So even if a cantrip heals for 1 hit point, like you can literally after every fight, it's 6 minutes. It takes 6 seconds to cast a cantrip. So over the course of a minute, I can cast it 10 times. So like after every fight, we could just sit there and be like, until you get healed up. No, I don't think I'd ever allow that. If that's what it does, no. It's way too powerful. It's like the healing spirit spell from, what did they put that? Xanathar's Guide to Everything. Stupid overpowered. Hello, what were you thinking? Like in combat, I think it's probably okay. Still pretty powerful, but probably okay. Out of combat? Are you kidding me? It's better than a 9th level healing spell. So crazy. I don't know how some of this stuff gets through playtesting. It's like people over there just like publishing stuff. I don't know. Okay, I should have said that. Okay, next. Okay, heals 1 hit point for 3 of... Oh, so you take damage to heal damage? That's more reasonable, Nithrius. If that's what it does, then that's probably more reasonable. If you have to take damage to heal something, yeah, that's probably not that bad then. Okay, I probably would be okay with that. unless there's some like, I'm sure there's some like, way to like, what do you want to call it? Power game that crap. Like somebody takes that can also like self-heal in some ways, so it ends up being I don't know, whatever. Anyway, let's move on. Next question. We have dwelled on that one enough. Luke has opinions. I have lots of opinions. I have to shut my mouth sometimes. Some of my opinions I just gotta be like... How do you make... Deep Fried Butter Boy says, how do you make homebrew towns? I just start making towns, dude. I start with a map. I draw a map out. I'm creating a town right now for the Kickstarter I'm working on. There's going to be a town that it kind of takes place in, and I'm building that town out. And the first thing I started was asking myself, what kind of buildings am I going to find in a town? And I went out on Google and I did research on medieval towns. And I read about medieval towns and the types of buildings and services that I would expect to find. The other thing that I do too when I'm creating a homebrew town is I just go out here to, where was this? Oh, come on. Where is this thing? So, Ghosts of Salt Marsh has a town in it. And so I was like, hey, these guys are professionals. I should be able to go in here and find a town. And that should give me some good guidelines on the types of things that I should find in a town. And it kind of did, but it also showed me why I need to have a table or something with a quick reference so that like I can tell all of the different services that are available, because this lists out the individual buildings in a town over the course of several pages, but I have to read every single one of them and all of the text in it to even know what the building does and what services are offered. And so as a quick reference guide, that's absolutely garbage. I'd have to take my own notes and create my own table to like actually be able to use it at the game table. And so I thought that was less than desirable. Yeah. Razul, hello. All right. Jonte does things. I did not skip you. See, I'm about to read your question right now. Perfect timing for this stream. That's a good question. Okay, next question. How would I bestow upon my level 3 party a few pretty mundane magic weapons to ease some minor adventuring aspects? I don't know. It depends on which minor adventuring aspects you want to ease. I mean, I don't know. I would, whatever those are, create some magic weapons that ease those adventuring aspects that you want to ease, and then you include them as loot in a dungeon. I think that's kind of how you do it. Have it be loot in a dungeon, or reward for a quest or something that somebody pays you. That's what I would do. That's a very generic answer, but that's all I got based on the parameters of the question. Gavin Vacker. Do you have some advice for a new DM? Because I am a new DM. Yep, I got lots of advice. Just I don't know how to answer these general questions. Just I don't know. Can I? Is it okay for me to just say watch my videos? Like, if you have a specific question, dude, pop that bad boy down there. Otherwise, I would just watch my videos, watch other people, other D&D creators that do videos for Dungeon Masters. I would just binge on all of the resources that are out there and just take stuff in. You know, I read a lot of the Angry GM back in the day. I read a lot of his articles. I thought they were very useful, very good information. I thought that he could have, like, you know, edited them down to 500 words instead of 5,000. But beyond that, it was really good information. I mean, I don't know what to say to these, like Dan is like, watch my videos, it's good advice. I mean, I don't know it's a generic question. I guess I'm going to give you a generic answer. But if I get a specific question, boom, I'm all over that. I don't even know what that means. Okay, I'm going to skip that one. Philip, Happy New Year, dude. Thank you. Cthulhu says, is Gary the Intern going to cameo in a live stream? Oh, that would be interesting. You know, the problem with Gary the Intern, dude, is that, like... Oh, Philip, I actually started watching the new Witcher series on Netflix because Netflix would not stop putting it on my homepage. It was like every time I went into Netflix to watch something, it was like, Witcher. We've heard of you, Witcher. It's like every single time, we've heard tales of you, Witcher. Like every single time, and I'm just like, okay, fine. I will watch it. I will watch it. And what do I think of it? It's not like the most polished, like, miniseries. It's not super polished. Like, you know when you watch, like, a movie or a miniseries and you're like, oh, this feels like a B film or something, or whatever they call them, you know? Does that make sense? It has that feeling to it, where it's not, like, super well produced. Like, you know what I mean? If that makes sense. Now, it's not bad. It's just, it lacks that, like, polish to it, I think. But that's just a feeling I have. You know what I mean? But I haven't watched enough of it to really get to have too big of an opinion on it. I mean, I'm really kind of like waiting for the demon killing to begin, but I've only seen that in like a little tiny bit of it. So, what's better, Disney or Netflix? I hate Disney. I'm done with Disney. Stupid Disney screwing up the Star Wars. Everything. It's like, ugh. I just went and watched the latest Star Wars, and I'm not going to give any spoilers, but I'm like, can I just find someone and punch them in the face? Like, why do you got to ruin, like, what's wrong with you people? Like, what's wrong with you? Okay, I gotta move on. This stupid, horrible horse crap. I hate it, man. Like, can we just, it's even from the fundamentals of a movie, there is no, like, building action, rise, climax, and then, like, the wrap-up. Even your traditional, like, you know, how you tell a story and how you produce a movie, there's none of that. The whole movie is just this fast-paced roller coaster ride where you're, like, careening down the roller coaster for, like, 2.5 hours or whatever. It's nonstop, just action, you know, and you're just like... It's like, when can I go fill up my popcorn? Come on. I don't know, man. It was a hot, sloppy mess, in my opinion. Okay. So Jonathan Huff says, have you seen Joe Cat's A Crap Guide to D&D? And did you enjoy the series? I can't take that much profanity. I'm going to be honest with you. Like, when I watch videos that have that much overt profanity, I can't do it. I just can't watch that stuff. It's just, it's not a knock against him or anything. It's just personal taste. Like, I cannot watch stuff where every other word is the F word or something. I just can't do it, man. I just can't do it. I'm just like, so I click away. I'm sorry. Just personal preference. It's just personal preference. Which you may notice I don't use language myself typically. Except for like crap. I say the word crap a lot. That's probably a bad word. Wayne Browser, thank you, sir, for $20 because he can. He's like, you know what? I got lots of money. Luke's sitting here talking to the camera. I'm just going to throw him some money. It sounds like a good idea. Thanks, man. It's like, what is it? Oh, what is it? Like Game of Thrones. Game of Thrones, it's like, you know, I like Game of Thrones. I liked it. I thought it was really well done. A lot of people did not like the last season and how it ended. And like, I'm not gonna, no spoilers, but like, I watched the whole thing and the last season came and I'm just like, okay. It wasn't unexpected. Like, so like the main criticism of different people about Game of Thrones is that it did not end the way they would have wanted it to end or something. Like any typical ending, they're like, that it shouldn't have ended that way or wouldn't have ended that way. And like fans like were voting, petitioning for them to redo it or some stupid stuff. But like if you read like the dude's books and stuff, like it's pretty unpredictable. Things don't usually go the way that you would expect them to go. And so I felt that it didn't surprise me the way it ended. You know what I mean? Was it a satisfying ending? I don't know that it was satisfying, but it didn't feel wrong. It felt like, yep, I could believe that happening. But it probably wasn't very satisfying. But my criticism about that whole series is like, why do we have to have like all of the nudity and this is like personal preference stuff, but it's like I would like to be able to watch a movie series that I enjoy, that I can watch and not have to worry if like my family walks in the room. You know, it's like, can you just give me some like medieval violence fantasy and stuff without like, you know, having all that crap in it so that I have to be like trying to skip over it and junk. It's like really dumb, but I understand why they do it because they're there to make money and that stuff sells apparently. Okay, how about we answer some people's questions instead of ranting about all of the stuff I don't like. Thank you, Jacob. Appreciate the 10. I don't even know what that is. 10 PLN. What currency is that? Jacob, where are you from, dude? You're paying me in PLN. I mean, I appreciate it. I just don't know what that is. That's really cool. Ender Warlock says he agrees with me on the needless nudity. It's like, we don't need it. It's like, I don't need that in a movie. I don't. You know? Like, if you want that, the people who want to see that stuff, there's a whole internet before you that you can just go deep, right, on that stuff. I don't need that in a movie for entertainment purposes. I just don't. You know, I don't want to see that. I don't want, yeah, thank you, goodbye. But it was great other than that. If they could take out all of those scenes, I would say that is just like an amazing series. Now, Walking Dead. Oh, Walking Dead is so good. I love Walking Dead. Really awesome. Okay, people are asking D&D questions and I'm not answering them. I feel like I'm failing you. I should probably answer some questions. It's Polish. Oh, that's cool. Polish Zlotys. Oh, that's awesome, dude. Cool. All right, how about let's do some questions. Jastel D says, what do you do when you accidentally overpower your PCs with loot? Do you run baddies with max hit points or do you tweak the armor class? Wow, just had a burp right there, just right in the middle of that sentence. Or do you tweak the armor class of the baddie would-be? Well, you got two options, dude. Like, my preference, if I accidentally overpowered my PCs with loot and I didn't realize it, like that I was doing it, and then it happened and I was like, holy crap, this is a problem. My first preference would probably be to go to my players and level with them and be like, hey guys, I screwed up and I gave you all way too much stuff and now it's kind of making the game more difficult. So like, there are two ways we can do this. It'd be great if we could like, you could give some of the loot back or I'm just going to have to like power everything up to accommodate for it, adjust for it. So you could do that. I think that's a legitimate approach. Most of the time, players don't want to give stuff up. So The other option is, and the option, I mean, I could ask them to do that, but I'm also perfectly comfortable with just powering everything up. Essentially, your second part of your question is yes, the answer. You make everything more challenging. You make there be either more enemies or you use more powerful enemies, right? You could do maximum hit points, or you could just pick different monsters. You can give them more hit points. Yeah, you could just give them more hit points. You could increase the armor class. Sure, those are both tricks you can do to make your creatures more powerful, to adjust for the fact that you accidentally gave your players too much loot. Absolutely, you could do those things. But two options for you. Okay. Wayne Browser says, have they ever given loot back? I don't think I've ever asked for my players to give loot back because I am super stingy about magic items. I am very careful about not giving too many magic items, until I get to like a little bit higher levels, like around level 12 and 15. I'm just like, here you go, guys, take whatever you want. I'm just because at that point, then the attunement mechanic becomes pretty important. You can only attune to 3 things. And so at that point, they're choosing what they're going to attune to. So it doesn't matter how many magic items they have. They can only attune to 3 of them, So at that point, it's not that big of a deal. And also, by the time my campaigns reach level 12 and 15, I start throwing some crazy stuff at my players. Like, ask my Sword Coast Guard players right now. They're in the middle of doing my revised version of Against the Fire Giants. Because, where's that book? Hold on. So Tales from the Yawning Portal has Against the Giants in it, which is like an older module that they remade for 5th edition. And it's pretty crappy. It's pretty much big, huge dungeons full of the same monsters, giants, over and over again. And it's pretty boring, and it's not that fun to run. So we did the hill giant steading, and then we did the ice giant glacier or whatever. And I was like, And so for the fire giant part of it, I remade my own adventure. And I am throwing some crazy crap at them, like some beefy stuff. And they're busting their butts to not bite it. So that's what I mean. I start to shower them with these magic items because I plan on, throwing some crazy crap at them. Okay, Galen, thank you, sir, for the €5. I'm thinking that's euros. Yes, Happy New Year. Got to head out. Cool. Thanks, buddy. Appreciate it. He is one of my moderators here on YouTube and over on Discord. He's pretty cool. Like all my moderators. They're all pretty cool. See you, dude. All right. Questions. Wow, lots of questions. I spent a lot of time talking about stuff that had nothing to do with Dungeons and Dragons. Let's pick one. Bo Foster. Have not answered a question from you yet. What is your favorite race and class combo? Half-elf warlock. Hexblade warlock. Done. Pfft. So much fun. So much fun. You guys, so I am playing a D&D game with a bunch of other YouTube creator stuff. Nate from WSD20, Jake from Mini Terrain Domain, Juice from Master the Game, and then Paula from, I think she does some stuff on his Master the Game channel too. But like tomorrow night is another one of our game sessions. So you guys can watch us over on Twitch. The Twitch channel is Master the Game RPG. Like if you look that up, I'm going to type it in. Master the Game RPG. So that's the Twitch channel right there. And we're playing D&D. I'm a player. I'm going to be a player. And I am playing a half-elf Hexblade Warlock because it's awesome. It's so much fun. Woo! Love that crap. So anyway, there you go. Come watch me do stuff. I'm a bad player. I'm probably like he probably wants me to like stop being so disruptive. It would be my guess. Let's see. Drink. Dan McIntyre. My group would like me to add more pickup items in dungeons, such as loot, weapons, magic items, etc. I struggle to do this as I don't see it as realistic. That is a chest just there. Yeah. So I'm not sure what you mean by pickup items, but like when I am putting loot in my dungeons, I absolutely 100% place it in places that I think is realistic. Like, you know, it's possible that you're going to find some cool magic item on like an underling who may have hidden it from like his boss and stuff, but you're most likely going to find the boss or the leader with the really cool stuff. And the boss or the leader is the one that's probably going to have the stuff worth a lot of money, like gems and a crown or something, you know. And so I like to try to place things in a realistic manner as well, you know. And you know what? To be honest, like the whole mechanic of having to fight through the dungeon to get to the end, and that's where you find the really cool stuff, I don't mind that idea. I think just from a game mechanic standpoint, it just encourages people to, like, you know, complete the dungeon because you want to get all the cool stuff, especially if a lot of the cool stuff is at the very end, you know. But definitely though, consider placing loot throughout the dungeon as well. You don't want to only have it in like an end chest with the big boss. You want there to be valuable loot throughout the dungeon as well, because that encourages players to explore the whole dungeon too. If they know that the only place they're ever going to find loot is at the boss at the very end, they're going to do their best to go right to that boss. And once they get to him and defeat him and get that loot, they'll ignore the rest of your dungeon that you might have spent a lot of time working on. So spreading loot throughout the dungeon is a good idea too. Joe says, what do you do when you have a player who, no matter what character he makes, is able to break the game with antics that would make MacGyver proud and is able to show you every rule he uses? I would just look at him and say, no, we're not doing this. I'm not playing this game with you. Like this game where my buddy John has a player like this. Okay. There's this one player who's like super excited into it, and he always comes up with these character builds that like take all of these different it's all rules as written, but he does these builds where he's taken all these different things to create this like super powered character, you know, this like really crazy. And then he's like asking if he can use homebrew rules that he found over here that are completely unbalanced and stuff like that. And it's like, no, we're not doing that. Like, if your sole goal is to create a crazy OP character that's just going to break the game and make it unenjoyable for everybody else, no thank you. I'll pass on that. I would just talk to him and be like, no, dude, we're not playing this. Like, we're not doing this where you just make things that try to break the game. And like, I don't care that you're following the rules. I just don't care. Okay, you are approaching the game from the perspective that you want to break it and make it unenjoyable for other people. Like, you're having fun. I get that. I understand that you like doing that and that's enjoyable for you. But like, can you just go do your OP builds over here, and then when you come to the table, just bring something that's reasonable, you know, so that everybody else keeps having fun? And I think I would talk to him, and that's the way that would go. Because I have had players who basically make the whole game unenjoyable for everybody else by the things that they're doing. And I'm not going to put up with it. Because why am I going to put up with one guy who's making everybody else miserable? It's dumb. It doesn't make any sense. Like, I want everybody at the table to have fun, not just one person. You know what I mean? So it depends on the severity of it and how unbearable it is, I guess, is the question. I hope that helps a little bit. Nithrius says, is it okay to murder a PC if they're an annoying paladin sorcerer with a cloak of displacement asking for a friend? Nithrius, who are you? It's like you have insider information. Oh, Nithrius, you probably watch my Sword Coast Guard videos over on my other YouTube channel. So I have another YouTube channel, guys. It's called the DM Lair Streams, and I post videos over there of my Sword Coast Guard group playing D&D. That's what they are. That's what the videos are. and we are always making fun of Dalinar. He is a paladin sorcerer with a cloak of displacement, and he is very, very powerful, very hard to hit. So is it okay to murder them? I joke about murdering Dalinar all the time, and I joke about taking away his cloak of displacement all the time. I just deal with it, and I take it as a lesson learned. Never, ever to have a cloak of displacement in the game again. So yeah, that's how I'm handling that. Yeah, Boxed Gamer, that there is a link to my other channel down in the description. You can just click on it and subscribe to it. It's nothing like it's literally a camera in the corner recording us play D&D. That's all it is. Now I do have like a boom mic that goes over the table, so there's decent audio, but it's us playing D&D. We're not putting on a show. We're not I didn't do a Kickstarter and get $1 million to do like a professional studio or something. I didn't do that. It's just a camera in the corner. Okay, so just take your expectations and lower them. It's just a dude and his friends playing D&D. That's all it is. Death to Munchkins. A sorcerer bard multiclass. I don't know why I wouldn't allow it, Deldor. Oyster Wolf says, how do you balance a PC that is a vampire or a werewolf? Dude, you don't, man. That unbalances it. By its very nature, taking a PC that has the abilities of a vampire or a werewolf unbalances that PC relative to the other players. That's just the way it works. Okay? So, if I had a player that wanted to be a vampire or a werewolf, I would basically say, okay, but it's going to be flavor. You don't actually get all of those cool game mechanics. Okay? Or you're going to be, you're just, maybe if the rest of the group is level 10, you can just play a vampire with the abilities of a vampire, but you don't get any class abilities and stuff. That's all you get is the vampire stuff. That might be balanced. Or you start to make a custom class that's a vampire class. You customize the crap out of it, and you come up with some sort of mechanic that is balanced, so you can actually level up as a vampire. I have a cat that I think is about ready to walk up on my desk. Twitch, that's not his name. Guapo. Oh, Guapo. This is Guapo. He's he needs attention. Guapo. He's down here bugging me. I got Mommy over here too. I got lots of cats over here. Hold on, cat cam. Stand by. Here's Mommy. Mommy. This is Mommy cat. Guapo's down here. This is Guapo. He's rolling around. Mommy. Yeah. This is the cat cam. Cat cam time. Guapo will just sit there and roll around. If you rub his belly, he loves that crap. He will sit there and keep rolling around as you rub his belly. He will not stop. He just keeps on going. Was I in the middle of a question, or did I finish one up? Yeah, the vampire werewolf. My suggestion, dude, is maybe homebrew a class where they can level up as a vampire werewolf, and good luck with that. I don't have any suggestions for that. Actually, you know what, dude? I would not be surprised if somebody has already thought of that, and you could Google it and find a homebrew class for a vampire or werewolf. That would not surprise me. Stuart Abelman says, what are your thoughts on rolling for stats versus point buy? Okay, so I started off doing point buy, and then for a while I tried rolling for stats. And what universally happens is that most players roll really well on stats. I look at them at the game table. They roll really well on stats. And then some players don't roll very well and they get screwed. So for a couple of reasons, I now don't like rolling for stats, rolling for ability scores. I'm back to wanting to use point buy. One of the reasons is simply balance, right? Like if the one player who gets lucky and rolls like 15s and 17s and 18s and crap, and then the other player who's getting like an 8, a 4, a 12, and oh yay, a 13, and they get screwed. It's not fun for that player when he's sitting there thinking, great, I got nothing, and the other dude has this cool, awesome character. So I think point buy evens it. The other thing point buy does is my players can create their characters offline. Like I don't trust players to roll their stats without me watching. It's not gonna happen. Okay, so like point buy allows them to create their characters offline, away from the game table, so they can have a backup character in case the unthinkable happens and they like die and stuff. So yeah. So now I'm back to doing point buy. There we go. Nobody wants to see the cats, right? You'd rather look at my face. Yeah, we should make the cats and magic items. That'd be fun. That'd be lots of fun. Nanners, I don't have any tips for Dragon of Icespire Peak. I haven't even read it before. I don't read lots of modules. Like, I buy a lot of them, but I don't read them. It takes time to read them. And I run mostly homebrew games. I run my own stuff for like almost all of my group. All of my groups. I just don't use modules. So like reading them takes time. And I usually don't have time to read them. Yeah, this mug's sweet. This is a great find. My wife got me that bad boy right there. Barrett Reddy says, I'm creating my first character style, bad guy, Dragonborn Artificer. My PCs are 5, level 10. What level should I make it? Should I look at making the enemy? So there are 5 level 10 PCs. Okay, hold on. So there's a way to do this. Let's go to our desktop. Let's go to my favorite website for D&D crap. This guy right here. I'm going to throw a link to this down in the comments for you, so you can go to that. So I have 5 characters. They're level 10. Calculate their thresholds. And now, what level of monster should I use for the big bad? If I have a level 10 monster, you will notice it is going to be a trivial encounter. That won't work. This is not a level 10. I'm sorry. This is a CR 10. So a CR 10 is going to be an I'm sorry. I got to put the number here. It's easy. It's still easy. This will be an unsatisfying bad guy, okay? Unless we add some minions, which is a good idea. If we add 5 level 3 minions, it now becomes deadly. That might be a pretty decent encounter for these guys, for a big bad boss at the end of an adventure. You could do that. 1 level 10, 1 CR 10 monster, and 5 CR3 creatures. Other than that, dude, like you can just use this and poke around at it and kind of figure out some parameters for what you would want to do, So there you go. Question answered. And back to this guy. Ancient Constructs is saying, I'm trying to come up with a good explanation for floating islands. Okay. When you find one, you let us know. Like, if you wanna crowdfund ideas, the best way to do that, and I give this answer probably every live stream, the best way to crowdfund ideas is on Facebook or Reddit. And you're going to get lots of people with lots of ideas for that. But this brain doesn't come up with ideas. Not like that. I mean, I do, but you're going to get much better bang for your buck asking other people in a forum or something like that. Do taxes exist in D&D? Says Ace of Hearts. They do if you want them to. They should. Almost every society historically has had taxes of some sort or another. Like all of them. It's just a fact of life. So, like a D&D in a medieval society, I would expect that there should be taxes. Yeah, that makes sense to me. Well, hello, zombie. Hello there, too. Good to see you, buddy. Dude, zombies. Oh, you know why I never get... I was telling my friends at work, I was telling them today this. The reason I never get the flu shot. Okay, so you guys know the flu shot, right? You get the flu shot, you supposedly don't get the flu. I never wanted to get the flu shot because for some reason I have this really dumb idea in my mind that, like, probably inspired by all of these post-apocalyptic movies, and this is an irrational idea that makes no sense. But I always think to myself, like, there's going to be one year where, like, everyone who gets the flu shot, that's going to be the thing that turns them all into zombies. And then the people who don't get the flu shot, we're the ones that aren't going to be zombies. But then about a week ago, it occurred to me that, holy crap, what if the people who get the flu shot are the ones that don't turn into zombies? And then the ones that don't get the flu shot do turn into zombies. And that gave me something to think about. So I might start getting flu shots. But anyway, zombies, that reminded me of that thought. You probably want to get flu shots. I just have like weird ideas in my head sometimes. Yes, the Z virus, exactly. It's like from a movie or something, you know, or from like what was Will Smith was in an Apocalyptic Day movie where they like discovered the cure to cancer, but the cure to cancer actually was the thing that caused everybody to like turn into whatever those like monsters they turned into was. I forget the name of that movie. Would I prefer being a zombie or not? I don't know. I would probably make a good zombie. I think I'd be a good zombie. I Am Legend. That's the one. I Am Legend. That's it. I liked that movie. I thought that was a pretty cool movie. That was interesting. Everybody's chiming in. All right. We're going to start creating magic items in a little bit here. I know we got lots of questions. I didn't answer them all, but I want to get into the magic item creation because we're not going to go crazy late tonight, and I want to get some magic items created. So let's get the giveaway going. I promised you a giveaway, so let's get the giveaway rocking and rolling. So, wrong screen. That's the wrong screen. Hey, this is the screen I was going for. I'm just like clicking all the buttons until I get the one that I want. All right, so there is let me find this guy. There is a link down in the description. I will put it into the chat as well. You go there and you can sign up for the giveaway, and we need a secret password. What is the secret password is going to be zombie. There we go. So go to that little website, throw in the secret password. I think there are a couple different ways you can get like entries into the winning giveaway thingy bobber. So go ahead and hook yourselves up. At the end of the stream, we're going to pick a winner for these wonderful tactical tokens. I have these things. They're really cool, you guys. They're really well made thingies. They're basically, you use them like instead of miniatures. So like, you know, if you don't have a bunch of these like cool miniatures, then you can use these tactical tokens. They're really well made. They're cheaper than miniatures as well. So go sign up for free crap. Oh, by the way, I also while you guys are all signing up for free stuff, I want to give a huge shout out to all of my patrons and members. So like, especially I want to thank Clammed Oyster, Mr. Lemon Pie, Beoban. So Beoban is one of my Ancient Dragon patrons. He plays D&D with me. Kurt Y, Theta Tag. Theta Tag also plays D&D with me. Son of Sofa Man. He's also in the D&D crowd. Mr. Pages, Yokai also plays D&D with me. And Joe M, who is, I think, in the chat tonight. I'm pretty sure I saw Joe kicking around. I know I saw him kicking around. He may or may not still be here. But he plays D&D with me as well. So thank you all awesome members, patrons. I really appreciate it. So anybody who wants to like support the channel and what we're doing around here, one of the ways you can do that, there's a join button down below. If you click that, you can get some information on the different perks you get for being a member and all that kind of cool stuff. Things like hanging out with us in like a monthly voice chat. You can vote on videos that we're going to create on the channel. There is actually still one spot open to play D&D with me. So you can take a look at that as well. And then over my Patreon page, there's like other stuff as well. So anyway, there you go. There's my like shameless plug for the night. You gotta do those things. It's like in the contract. Oh, Robert Christian. Who are you, Robert Christian? Are you one of my patrons too? He's like, playing D&D with Luke is a blast. So you must have played D&D with me at one point. So I don't know when you played D&D with me. Robert Christian, when did you play D&D with me? Oh, you're Theta Tag. Oh, okay, cool. Awesome. Well, your name is Sean, though. Why does your YouTube thing say Robert Christian, man? That's misleading. Like, I don't know who you are, and I gotta ask. And then I feel like a moron. Because, like, I should know who you are. Hey, what up from Canada? How you doing, man? Canuck Finjosh. What up, dude? All right, let's hit some more questions here, and then we're gonna create some magic items. I'm still getting over a sickness thingy, and I can feel my voice is starting to like not like it a whole lot. So awesome. Well, I'm glad you like my videos, Canuck Finjosh. I'm probably supposed to like separate that. Canuck Fan Josh. Fellow Canadian. I'm from Michigan. I'm very close to Canada. Like, I'm just south of the border. Trying to find a question that... All right, Kyle Andersman says, my players have a sorcerer who likes to use Twin Spell to cast Polymorph on the party. She prefers to make 2 T-Rexes. Then they steamroll many encounters. Do you have any thoughts on this? Yep, I sure do. Lower the ceiling. Lower the ceiling, baby. How tall is a T-Rex? A T-Rex is a huge creature. That is a 3x3 square. That means that they are 15 feet tall. Okay? If you are in a dungeon and the ceiling is 10 feet tall, then that T-Rex is squeezed. And it has half movement, and it has disadvantage on attack rolls. It has disadvantage on saving throws. Enemies that attack the T-Rex have advantage. So, like, the dungeon is the answer to parties who spam T-Rexes. That's the answer. Corridors that are 10 feet wide. Most dungeons are going to have corridors that are either 5 feet wide or 10 feet wide. And your T-Rex is squeezed in corridors. Now, once they get into a room that opens up a little bit, that's a little bit of a different story. But if you run a realistic environment, T-Rexes quickly become impractical to use with great frequency. That's the real answer, in my opinion. Okay? The other thing you do is when players discover tactics that are super powerful and help them in the game, and they're steamrolling things, as the dungeon master, you're just like, well, okay, I have all of the resources at my disposal to make the game more difficult for you, and so that's what I do. I just make things more difficult. More monsters, different monsters, harder monsters. Now, it's easy to say that, because if I'm running modules, and you're like, well, Luke, you know what? I'm running this stuff from the module, and you're telling me to make the encounters more difficult. Well, that's a lot more work from me. Like, I bought this module so that I can just use it and not have to remake everything. So, like, I get that the advice of just making your monsters harder and the encounters harder is not like the best advice all the time, especially if you're trying to run a module. So that's why I say lower the ceiling, because that's going to make a difference on things as well. Okay? So there are 2 options you got there. I hope that helps a little bit. Polymorph. But Polymorph's a high-level spell, man. That's what is that, a 5th level spell? Or a 6th level spell? That's a high-level spell, too. Have the enemies use Polymorph, too. Whee! Whenever my players find a spell that they love and they're spamming, it's because it's a really good spell. And they're not the only ones in the game world that have discovered that it's a really good spell. Lots of the enemies also know that it's a really good spell. So they're going to use it also. Can you put people on timeout when they're being annoying? Is that a thing? Does that exist? Yeah, there's a put user in timeout command. Oh, that's cool. Moderators, do you have that command? You do. Yes. Tashio laying down the hammer. Awesome. He's like, you're timed out. Nice. That's awesome. I think that's hilarious. I don't know why I get a kick out of that. It's like, oh, what up, dude? I'm like evil. Okay, polymorph, it's a 4th level spell. Okay, fair. That's okay. I'm gonna fill up real quick. I'll be back in 2 seconds. I'm gonna put the cat cam on so you can watch Guapo while I go get more coffee. He's just sitting there. He's like a cat loaf. He's just sitting there in a cat loaf position. A laser. Oh, I know. I need to get a laser. You guys, if I had a laser and I was like, woo, during the stream, oh my gosh, that would be so cool. Cat and DM legs cam. Wayne Browser, $20 for the cat. Thank you, sir. I'll actually get all my cats. He's like, okay, $20 for each cat. Whew, it's a little hot. All right, and nothing would ever get done. Yes, I know. I'd just be playing with the cat the whole stream. People will be like, we like Luke's streams, but all he ever does is show his cats and play with his cats. There, that's Squirty Pie. All right. Let's keep going. Let's keep answering a couple more questions, then we'll create some magic items. Douglas Martin, let's find your question. Douglas, why can't I search? What a piece of crap. Come on, baby. Douglas, I'm going to find your question. Okay. Where is the search functionality? There we go. All right, I got it. Thank you. Thank you for highlighting it. He says I'm DMing for two players new to the game. They're a rogue and a wizard, 0 healing. So I gave them a staff of healing. Besides that, what would you do so they don't die too easily? Okay, so basically, dude, many of my games don't have healers. Many of my players don't have healers. And usually what I do is I make healing potions very accessible so that they can readily find them. And then, of course, they got to have money to buy them. And then what I do is I allow them to drink a healing potion with a bonus action. Now, normal potion, any other potion is a normal action. Giving somebody else a healing potion is a normal action, but drinking a healing potion is a bonus action. So what that allows them to do is in the middle of the fight, when things are going poorly, they can still drink a healing potion and then attack or do whatever else. They can keep on going. And so making healing potions readily available and be able to be used with a bonus action makes it so that groups without dedicated healers can get along a whole lot better. And so that is one thing you can do to make things a little bit better for you and help them out. You can also give them a cleric hireling. I have done that. I did that for, my Ancient Dragons, they were running an Acquisitions Incorporated style game, and so they have a intern who is a cleric, and she's the one that just died too. So they had a healer, but then they murdered her. In all honesty, they sent her to her death intentionally because they didn't like her, and so now they don't have a healer, and that's on them. How would you explain D&D to an imaginary person who has never heard of medieval fantasy? I have no idea. I would say D&D is like a medieval fantasy game. How would you explain food to somebody who has never seen a hamburger before? I don't know. I don't have an answer to that. Master for Disaster. Do you think the D&D is better than the Black Eye? I don't know what the Black Eye is, so I do not have any basis to answer your question. Sorry. Rusty Fish says, my players never seem to try to talk to my NPCs. They're always like, I go to the inn and sleep there. That's 6 silver. Okay, let's go. I took a lot of time to make NPCs. How do I get them to talk? Like make the NPCs have important information that the players don't have access to unless they talk to them. You know? Like, the plot hooks are in talking to the NPCs. And if they don't engage with the NPCs, they don't get plot hooks. But that said, so there's this is kind of diving into a deeper question too, I think, Rusty. And that question is, to what extent, you know, are the players playing the game the DM designed? And to what extent is the DM adjusting their game to suit the desires of the players, right? Like, where does that balance lie? Because there is a balance there. Some players have zero interest in NPCs, and all they want to do is go to the dungeon and kill crap. Okay? And that's a legitimate way to play the game, if you want to play the game that way. And if that's all they want to do, to what extent as a dungeon master are you okay with that? You know, are you okay with just playing that sort of game? Or do you want a game where there's more social interaction, where they talk to NPCs and stuff like that? You know? And, you know, are you going to force your players into that game that they might not want to play? Are you going to encourage them? Like, to what lengths are you going to go? But I will say that, like, if you just... I don't know that there's an answer to that question. I'm just kind of posing it. I think there should be balance somehow there. But, like, you're asking, you know, just talking to NPCs. Like, I would never expect my players to just talk to random NPCs for just... I just felt like talking to someone. My players generally are going to talk to the NPCs that they feel that there is a reason to talk to. Like, they need to talk to this NPC because some reason. Like, that I introduced. Whether that person has information, whether they are something, there's got to be a reason. So, like, if you want them to engage with NPCs and interact with NPCs, you need to give them reasons for doing so, right? Like, players probably are not just going to wander around the town just being like, hey, let's just talk to people. You know, they're going to have a reason for doing so. So give them reasons, I think. I shall protect us by the hammer of Moradin. Any tips on world building? I don't build my own world. I use Forgotten Realms because it's faster and I have no interest in creating my own game world. Other people have done it and make my life easier. I create my own adventures. That's what I do. I have found that players usually are more interested in... Just one of my cats is underneath my feet. I found that players tend to be a lot more interested in, like, the adventures themselves. And the game world is just backdrop. It's not super interesting. It's the adventure where all the action takes place and all the interesting stuff takes place. And so I spend my time creating the adventures. And I just use a generic fantasy setting for Forgotten Realms. Because, yeah, nobody cares. So I don't really have any tips, dude. Honest. I mean, I don't know. Start small, build your way out. Only build the things that, like, you know, they're actually encountering. Don't try to build out the whole world and every city and everything in the city. But that's, like, super generic advice. I don't know how useful that is. You probably want to go ask somebody who, like, builds their own worlds a whole lot. And they're going to have much more meaningful advice for you, in all honesty. How do you teach someone to play D&D? I recommend making a character with them and seeing what their motivations are. Have them... Okay, are you asking a question or are you telling us? Okay, I will answer the question. So, brand new people who are playing D&D, I explain the premise of the game. You are controlling one character in a game world. I am the Dungeon Master. I will explain the world around you. I'll set the scene, and you tell me what your character does and what your character says. That's the game. Don't worry about the rules. Just listen to me. Get off your phone. Listen to me describing what's in the game world, and then tell me what your character does and says. And if we need to make any dice rolls or engage with the rules at all, then either I or one of the other experienced players is going to help you figure out what the rules are that apply to your given situation. And then we just kind of jump head in and we start playing. And we help them out as needed. As needed, we help them out. And they slowly learn. Now, once they've played for a little bit, at that point, since they've been exposed to the game and they've been playing it and they've encountered the rules, but they're still really murky in their head, then at that point, it might be more appropriate to sit down with them and explain the rules a little bit more in depth. But I would certainly not start off by explaining rules to a new character, new player. It's just, it's not necessary. And it's probably intimidating, and they're not going to remember it anyway, and they're just going to be confused. So why bother? And I also would not make a new player, create their own character. Like, character creation is the most complex part of the game. To expect a new player to create their own character is not reasonable, in my opinion. So, like, I would help them, or I would ask them what kind of character they want to play. I would create it for them. We can do a pre-gen, something. Once they understand the game better and they feel comfortable making their own character, then they can create their own character. You know, but all of these are things I try to do to make it as easy as possible for the player to start playing the game. Because, you know, it can be a little bit, when you don't know the rules of a game, and the game is fairly complex, you know, in a way, then it can be hard to get into it. Okay, that's my answer. All right. Noah Beach says, I am joining a group to play D&D that I have never played with or met before, and I don't know what to do. Any thoughts? Bring them beer. I don't know, man. So, like, just be cool, dude. You know, just be cool. If you've never played D&D before, then I would just be like, hey guys, new, help me out. You know, if that's not a problem, then don't worry about it. But I think just be a cool human being. Don't be a moron. Don't be a jerk. Be nice to them, you know. And probably, like, I don't know what kind of personality you have. Like, I have a very outgoing, dominant personality. So it's very easy for me to go into a group setting and just be very loud and talkative and dominate. And that's probably not a good idea when you're going into a new group of people, because you can come off as kind of abrasive, loudmouth, and they might not like you. So, like, if you're like me, you probably want to just shut your mouth and just chill and get the feel of the land, you know, before you start, like, you know, being like super outgoing and talkative, you know. So, but just be chill and be a nice person. I think that's what I would do. I hope that helps. Bribe them. Yep, bribe them. Zombies leave. Coffee's good. Zombies leaving. See you later, zombie. I'm like dying on the stream. Like breathing coffee. It's so good, I breathe it. All right. Let's do a couple more questions and we'll create some magic items. I'm sorry, you guys are asking lots of questions and we didn't get through that many of them. I apologize for that. There are far more of you than there are of me. You guys, like, seriously, any of you who, like, obviously I can't answer all these questions, but, like, if you join my Discord server, there are lots of dungeon masters there with experience, and you can ask questions over there, and there are almost surely people there that are going to help answer your questions. Okay, so that's something you can do. There's got to be a link down in the description to my Discord server. People will help you. I'm just one person though, so, and I get on tangents, and I show pictures of my cats, and so that makes it hard. The Boxed Gamer says, on the topic of magic item, What is the most broken one you have made, if you have made or seen? I made a magic item once that it was broken because it had, I wasn't totally, I had just started running 5th edition and I didn't really understand a lot of the game mechanics a whole lot. And so I made a short sword that gave like, I think on a critical hit, it gave like an extra 2d6 damage or something. It was something that I didn't think was a big deal, but then the rogue took it. And the rogue kept getting, like, he was doing something where he got lots of critical hits or something. And anyway, it turned out that that magic item became pretty darn powerful, far more powerful than I thought it would be, just because of who ended up using it. And then I learned a little bit more about game mechanics and how things work, and I was like, okay. I think I didn't understand that all dice were doubled on critical hits or something. So I forget exactly all the details on it. But I've made some. Now what I do after that one, what I started doing is any magic items that I homebrewed, I would give it to my players, and it is on a sheet with a printout of words and stuff and all the mechanics for it. And then at the very bottom, I would have a disclaimer. Literally, I would put a disclaimer that said, this is an alpha version subject to changes by the Dungeon Master. And I would tell my players up front, hello, I'm giving you a custom magic item. There is a possibility that this is messed up, too powerful, or not powerful enough. I reserve rights to change it. And we actually, we actually did, this has happened a couple times in my groups. The other players will look at the magic item that I created when I give it to them, and we'll kind of, as a group, look at it, and they'll be like, you know what, Luke, this is actually really powerful. Maybe you should lower this power level, and they'll help me like tweak it right there on the spot. We've done that a couple times, and that's super helpful. It's good to have players like that you can trust, that are mature enough to like tell you when, like, Luke, I don't think you realize what you're doing here. You might want to reconsider this. You know what I'm saying? So that's really cool. All right. Let's do like another question or something here. That's just dicey. I've played in Eberron because I used to play Dungeons and Dragons online. That's all I know about it. I have technically played in it before, in a video game. I don't know that I have any tips on it. I mean, if you're running an Eberron, then you probably want to embrace and emphasize some of the things that make Eberron cool, like the Warforged and the constructs and the houses and and the airships and stuff. Like, make those a thing. Like, if you're in that game setting, then embrace and put the spotlight on some of the things that make that game setting unique when you compare it to, say, the Forgotten Realms. So I think that's probably the biggest thing that I think of off the top of my head. Martin says, how much as a DM do you consider the second page of a character sheet from the player handbook in your games? The second page of a character sheet. That's the page that has like the backstory on it, the allies, organizations, all of the like fluff text. So like, I actually just like about a week ago got done reviewing that information for my Ancient Dragons game. Because what I do is I take their backstory information and I think about ways that I can incorporate it into the ongoing campaign. A lot of times that means like special quests that are focusing around a character's backstory. Like, you might have a character who had a special amulet that was stolen from his parents, and he's been trying to find it. And that's something the player created in his backstory. And then I read that, and I'm like, oh, that sounds cool. Let's do something with that. And so I pay attention to that stuff, and I put it into my games. Now, it's not always super easy, and to be honest, a lot of players just don't put anything there. So it's like, if my player doesn't put anything there and doesn't give me anything, then you don't get anything. But yeah, so there you go. That's the answer. Would you consider making an item to grow alongside the PC in regards to power? I would consider that, yes. I think it's a cool idea. You come up with a game mechanic that makes sense for it to keep growing. You know what I would do? I would, Aaron, like, dude, like if you wanted to implement that, I think one of the ways that I would probably consider implementing that. What is my cat doing over there? Squirty Pie, knock it off. I don't know what she's doing. She's attacking something. But she's over where my expensive lighting is that I use in my videos. And so I'm like afraid she's going to knock something expensive over and break my lighting. I have these like really cool LED barn door lights and stuff. And she's like over there goofing around. That's concerning. What was I talking about? Oh, magic items that grow alongside a PC. I would almost want there to be some sort of mechanic or gimmick, you could say, where you need to collect certain things that would power up your item. You know, like, let's just pretend that there are certain gems you could find, or little discs that have magical power in them, and you insert them into slots on your magic item, and that makes your magic item more powerful. And then you would kind of sprinkle those in the adventures or throughout the world, and players would find them, and they'd be able to power up the magic items. There might be some of these discs that have special magical properties. Like this one is a fire disc. So if you put it into a weapon, your weapon does fire damage. If you put it into an armor slot, your armor gives you like resistance to fire damage, you know? If you put it into a hat, I don't know, it could do something else. If you put it into gloves, it allows you to cast fireball once per day. You know, so you could build this is like a crafting system almost for magic items. So you could like build something like that. And that could be I could see that being really fun and really cool, you know? So, yeah. Oh, did somebody already do that? Noah's like in Baldur's Gate 2, the Flail of Ages. I mean, it shouldn't surprise me that somebody's already done that stuff. It's like, I am not unique. Yeah, Squirty Pie is my cat's name. That's one of my cats, Squirty Pie. Yes, John Mesa, my cat's name is Squirty Pie. I have the best names for my cats. I have Squirty Pie, Squeaky, Orange, Guapo. His real name is Chipper, but we call him Guapo because he's Guapo. And then Mommy. So the mommy cat is the mommy cat of the stray family that we adopted. And like we couldn't figure out a name for her, and so we just call her Mommy. That's the way that happens. Okay, cool. Let's I think we're going to start creating magic items, guys. We're going to start creating magic items. So I think the question answering is going to come to an end now, sadly. And I do apologize that I wasn't able to get to everybody's questions. Before we jump into the magic item creation, we're going to do a thing. For anybody who's just joining and has not had a chance to sign up for the giveaway yet, I'm going to give you a bunch of information for the giveaway. So I'm going to give you the link to the giveaway where you can sign up for it. So there's a link to where you can sign up for the giveaway. You'll be signing up to win some of these tactical tokens, and you're going to need the password, and we said the password was zombie. So please go ahead and sign up for that. Take some time there. It shouldn't take too long. Sign up. At the end of the stream, we're going to be pulling a winner for that. And if I didn't, okay, so no, I can't ship things overseas, guys. I apologize. I am able to ship to the United States. I used to work in logistics. I literally used to work in logistics, and I am not prepared to handle customs for shipping this product overseas. This is like a unique custom-made product, and like customs would just be horrendous. And so I can't do that. I apologize. That is my my own limitation as a person shipping stuff. So sorry about that, guys. Canada is still goes through customs. It still goes through customs, so it's unfortunate. I do apologize. I can't handle that. Sorry. All right, Tashio, see you later, buddy. So go sign up for that. And if I didn't get to your question, I apologize. I do these live stream Q&A things like almost every week. Like almost every Friday we do these. So just stop in next Friday and hopefully we'll get you taken care of. So I'm gonna pop over to an intermission screen, and when we come back, we're going to start creating some magic items together. And we'll rock on with that stuff. All right, my intermission screen. I'll get some music. Let's get some music kicking. Get some music kicking. And then go to the intermission screen.
Summer's gone, I'm latching on. Don't even know your name, but you're still in my head. Underneath rays of gold, your body oh so close. No, I can't forget, no. When I saw you on the dance floor, oh, I saw you who saw me first. I guess it's history now, and I shouldn't care, but it still hurts. I didn't realize the danger, cause you're the end of the rainbow. And the music was so loud, didn't catch your name over this crowd. Girl, you should wear a name tag, cause all I wanna do is to know your name. Girl, you should wear a name tag, that's the only way that I get your name. Girl, you should wear a name tag, it's too important to be your name. People go insane when you walk by. Girl, you should wear a name tag. On the dance floor, 4 a.m. and we go home. I guess it's history now, and I shouldn't care, but it still hurts. I didn't realize the danger, cause you're the end of the rainbow. And the music was so loud, didn't catch your name over this crowd. Girl, you should wear a name tag, cause all I wanna do is to know your name. Girl, you should wear a name tag, that's the only way that I get your name. Girl, you should wear a name tag, it's too important to be your name. People go insane when you walk by. Girl, you should wear a name tag. Girl, you should wear a name tag. Girl, you should wear a name tag.
I was talking to myself. All right, music is off. We're ready to rock and roll. Yeah, oh, I know. Yeah, you guys can see me. Like my intermission screen is it's like it's intended to be. Yeah, the intermission screen is intended for the camera to be on me, but like, yeah, it doesn't. You can't hear me. You know, it just shows that crap. So anyway, you guys, I'm sorry I can't answer all your questions. It's like I'm like one man. You know, so like, I mean, I don't know what else to say besides come next time or ask people on Discord. You know, so it's just like there's only so much I can do. You know. Aaron Heidenreich, thank you, sir, for the €2. Yes, we're going to get our mojo on. All right. I think I saw one question about, like, magic item creation in, like, 5th edition. Yeah, you're right. The rules in 5th edition aren't that great for creating your own magic items and stuff. You have to kind of make something up on your own. Like, if what exists in the tier system is not satisfactory, then you have to homebrew something that makes sense, that your players are able to use. I would do a Google search and see if somebody else has already created something else that you can, like, you know, steal and improvise and then build upon. But if it doesn't exist in the core rule mechanics, then you have to create something, you have to homebrew something, basically, because there isn't anything super great that's super satisfying. So, yeah. Joe M. Joe M is like become a patron. He answers a lot more questions there. I mean, yes, honestly, yes, Joe is right. Like, my patrons have a VIP channel. Like, just my patrons and YouTube members have a VIP channel that they have access to. And I absolutely give priority to them because, like, they're my patrons and they're my members. They're supporting the channel. And so, absolutely, I'm going to give priority to that. You know, that's just, it makes sense. So, all right, let's keep moving. Let's do some magic item creation. Let's get rid of this. We don't need that anymore. And then we're gonna pull up this right here. And what do you do if a PC is cheating all the time, but he's your best friend? Talk to him and tell him to stop. And if he keeps on cheating, kick him out of the game. I don't know. Like, I don't care if you're my best friend. If you're going to be a cheating jerk, then, like, I don't think I'm going to have you in my game, buddy. But talk to him and see if he'll stop. What am I looking for? I'm looking for this screen right here. Okay, magic items, guys. We're creating magic items. Professor, his grievances have been alleviated. All right, I'm happy to alleviate your grievances. But like everybody else's that didn't get their question answered is going to have the same grievance, and I can't alleviate everybody's. All right, magic item creation. Let's do this. Come on, let's do some magic items. I need ideas. Yeah. Well, I do, like, Professor. So like, I do feel a little bit bad because, like, I want to help people. Like, that's why I do this channel. And that's why I do the things that I do, because my desire is to help people and answer questions. And I know that being a dungeon master is not easy. Okay? It takes a lot of work, and there's not a whole lot of resources, and things can be confusing and hard. And so, like, I want to help people. So I'm coming from the place where I want to help people. And like, but there's only so much I can do, you know? So it's frustrating on my end, you know, and I don't like disappointing people, letting them down, but it's like, Juzo, you're right. I'm human. There's only so much I can do, you know, so I do the best I can, you know. All right. Magic item ideas. Whee! Okay. Oh, we should preface this. So like, you guys are going to drop a bunch of ideas, and we're going to, like, not everybody's idea is going to get used, so don't get mad at me, because we can't. It doesn't work that way. Throw some ideas. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm going to have a strong preference toward ideas for magic items that are fun and quirky. Like, what is she doing? Squirty Pie. She's running around. So, fun and quirky magic items. Magic items that the players are going to, like, use their creativity for, to find cool things they can do. Weapons and armor are like not gonna have a super high appeal to me, especially when it's just like do more damage, increase armor class. Like I have a preference for like let's go for like fun quirky stuff, you know, as opposed to power. I don't want power. I'm not going for power. Like power is easy. Anybody can do power. I want fun, interesting stuff. Okay? Like a really interesting idea that somebody left in a comment somewhere on one of my videos or something was a gelatinous cube that fits in a jar, like a little jar with a gelatinous cube in it. That's the item. And they can open the jar up and put stuff in there and the cube eats it. Like, that is interesting. And like, that's the sort of thing you give it to your players and they're like, whoa, what can we do with this? And they start thinking of cool stuff they can do with it. All right, I'm reading comments now. Yeah, I like having to say command words aloud. When I write magic items, I usually like my stupid cat. I don't know what she's doing over there. She's just attacking a piece of cardboard. I usually write the command words out in my magic item descriptions for people. A mask that turns you into squirty pie. That would be terrifying. Calls all cats to your aid within 500 feet. The cat whistle. Oh, Dan McIntyre has our first magic item. We're going to call it, well, this is the the cat whistler. This might not be the final name, but we'll start. This will be our working name. We're going to call it the cat whistler. The basic idea of this magic item is that it calls all cats to your aid within 500 feet. That's the basic idea. All right, so like, can you imagine in a city using this? What is, like, what is this going to be? Is it literally a whistle? Do you blow it? Like, let's flesh this idea out. Like, what does this look like? What does this magic item look like? The cat whistler. The cat call. The booming meower. Swarms of cats. A flute which lets you call cats, like the Pied Piper's flute. It has whiskers. Okay, so I think that it's going to be a flute. A flute with whiskers growing from it. So this is a, what color? What color should it be? What colored flute? What's the color of this flute? A tabaxi taxi. It has whiskers growing from it. As an action, the bearer can play the flute for 1 minute. As an action, well, if no, it wouldn't be an action at that point. The bearer can play the flute for 1 minute with and choose from one of the following effects. Okay, so the first thing is that it calls all cats to your aid. It calls all cats within 500 feet. It's a misplaced modifier. It calls all cats within 500 feet to your aid. Now, do the cats just like, what does that mean? Like, what do the cats do? They just help you? A white and black with orange spots. Ooh. I think it's orange. Yeah, let's make it an orange flute. Let's make it an orange. We'll make it an orange tabby cat colored flute with whiskers growing from it. So it calls all cats within 500 feet to your aid. What else can this flute do? Let's give it a couple things. That it can do. Point the laser pointer at a target to make them attack. Oh, yes! Create a magical laser pointer. Create a magical laser pointer. Oh, wait. Well, hold on a second. The flute. As an action, the bearer can create a laser, can cause a laser to emit from the flute. Pointing the laser at a target causes all cats summoned by the flute to attack the target. How's that? So like you can play it for a minute and get a bunch of cats to come to you, and then you use an action to have a little laser come out at it, and that will cause the cats to attack the target. Okay. Let's not have following actions. Let's just say you can play the flute for 1 minute, causing. Let's not have all cats within 500 feet. That's way too many. How many? Like 2d6 cats? How many cats should it summon? Like 2d6? I think 2d6 is probably like a reasonable number. Causing 2d6 cats to come to the player's call. There we go. These cats are friendly to the bearer and accompany him and follow him for the next hour. We'll say for 1 hour. Yeah, for 1 hour. How's that sound? No, we'll just say it makes cats. 4d4. Ooh, animal handling. Oh, that's cool. You add your animal handling to it. Ah, the cats climb together to form a giant cat. That's a cool idea. Should the amount of cats be determined by dice? Yeah, that's what we're going to do. 4d4. So I see a bunch of people saying 4d4. So let's do that. Let's do 4d4 cats. 4d4 plus the animal handling modifier of the bearer. There we go. Cats. So like it's 44 plus whatever your animal handling modifier is, which is probably not statistically relevant, but anyway, it'll give you some extra ones. I like that idea. Cool. Ooh. No. What kind of cats would it be? This is actually a good. We're saying cats. I'm envisioning a house cat, like a house cat. If we're talking about lions or tigers, that's like really powerful. I'm not imagining this is going to be like a super powerful magic item. This is like just a little cool flavor thing. That's what I'm envisioning. Maybe once per day it can summon something else. Let me pull up the monster manual. Stand by. We're gonna pull up the monster manual and take a look at what it's actually going to summon. So I'm gonna find a cat. Stand by. Stand by. Cat. Is it searching? Oh, come on. You have to be searching. What is it doing? This is so stupid. I'm going to have to just scroll until I can find it. What page is cat on in the monster manual? Why does the... Here we go. So here's the cat. Yeah. It might be in the PHB. I don't know. I know it's in the Monster Manual for sure. The flute slowly transforms the user into a tabaxi. That's awesome. Riku, I think that's a good idea that we can say that it can summon a big cat like once per day maybe or something. So let's just say a cat. We're going to say a CR0 cat and it's from page 320. I want to be very specific. When we say cat, we are referring to the CR0 cat on page 320 of the Dungeon Master Guide or the Monster Manual. I just need to put that there because somebody's going to be like, "Ooh, lions!" No, not lions. And then let's also say, what about once per day? What about once per day they can summon? Oh, you know what? Let's say that like once per day they can summon a bigger cat. Oh, that's true. That's probably true. We can just break that there, and that makes sense. Maybe we can say something like once per day, the flute can be used to summon a lion, tiger, or other large cat. Let's just keep it kind of generic. Somebody keeps on saying Displacer Beast, which is powerful. I'm going to leave that up to the DM discretion. Whatever DM is running this, you can probably decide if you want to allow that or not. Or bear. Oh my. A lion or a tiger or a bear. All right. That's good. Let's move on. Let's do something else. Oh, wait. We gotta determine what this is. So it's a flute. So it is a wondrous item. How common is this? It summons a bunch of little cats or a lion or a tiger once per day. What's the rarity of this item? So here's our rarity guide. Am I going to give this to somebody at first level or second level or third level? Or is this a fifth level type of thing? I feel like this is rare. It might be uncommon, but I feel like this is more like a rare thing. This is the type of thing I'm probably going to give to a party when they get to like fifth level or beyond. I'm going to go with rare. It's a cat-related item. It's definitely legendary. That's funny, Joey. It's rare. I feel like it's rare. And determining the rarity is just gut feeling. You kind of think about other magic items and what they are. You think like I think about it in terms like right now, I was gauging its rarity by like the character level. When would I as a dungeon master give this type of magic item to a party? I might give it to like a third level, fourth level party, but more than likely, this might be something I give to them around fifth level or above. Because in all honesty, I don't give a lot of things below fifth level, magic item wise. Consumables mostly, Anyway, let's keep moving. Next magic item. All right, more ideas. We need some more ideas for a magic item. If you typed an idea for a magic item like way above, and it's okay to like repeat it and put it again. Because I'm not going to scroll up above and read everything again. So feel free to repeat if you feel like it. Yep, you could do. There are so many different like stipulations and variations we could write into this. Like all of your guys' ideas sound pretty cool. I can only write one thing though. So when we're done with this, this is going to be available for everybody to download and use. So if you want to customize this stuff, boom, you knock yourself out. Yeah, don't spam. Correct. Like, post your idea once, and if I call for reposting, that's fine. But don't just keep throwing it over and over and over again, because that will just make me annoyed. And then I can do a timeout. A lich head in a jar. That's interesting. An Uno reverse card. An item that turns your hand into a claw. A fortune bow. It's a cookie-flavored bow that shoots advice. We're doing that. I don't know what that means. I have no idea what that means. But we're going to figure that out. So we're going to do... Jack of Hearts had an idea for a fortune bow. I have no idea what the heck that means. All right. So, like, let's flesh this idea out. What does this actually do? It's a cookie-flavored bow that shoots advice. Like, what the heck does that mean? We need some sort of, like, game mechanics for that. We need to flesh that idea out somehow. I don't know what that means. It sounds interesting, though, which is why it got my attention. It's like a fortune cookie. Okay. When you hit something, you get insight on what you hit. What does that mean? It casts augury. It could be a fortune cooking bow. All right, so like... So we could say that like once per day or something. Once per day, the bearer can cast the spell augury. Okay. Well, besides that, like if you shoot it and it hits something... Ooh, okay, so the DM gives a small bit of advice to the players, like that troll is immune to acid. Ah. Okay, so like... The DM gives cryptic hints or help when a player character is shot with it. Okay, so like, I think what we're going to do is we're going to say, when the user shoots a creature with an arrow fired from this bow, we'll say there needs to be a % chance that the user gets information about that creature. I don't want it to be an automatic thing. I want there to be a % chance, like a 50% chance that you learn something about the creature. You know what I mean? But like, what % chance is reasonable? Let's say a 25% chance. Let's put that as a working number right now. But give me your ideas. There is a 25% chance that the user learns a valuable piece of information about the target. For instance, hitting a troll might reveal that acid damage prevents it from healing. 15% chance, 25% chance. A 25% chance is still a 15 and up on a d20, or you can use percentage dice. Yeah, that it still lives with its mom. That's a poor troll. It lives with its mom still. I think you can roll whatever dice you want, whether it's percentage dice or a 15 or above on a d20. I don't care what dice you use, but the % chance is really the important part. The target making a saving throw seems more fitting to extract information like that. It might be, but like, there's nothing adverse is happening to the target. Usually I think of saving throws when something bad's going to happen to me if I don't make my saving throw. Oh, you know what? That's interesting. What if there's a percent chance that like misleading information is given? Misleading information. My weakness being revealed seems bad. Yeah, you know what? Let's say this. If no valuable information is learned, then there is a 5%. You know what we should say? Roll a d20. We should say roll a d20. On the result of 15 or above, the user learns a valuable piece of information about the target. And then we're going to say, if a 1 is rolled, then the user learns a false, an untrue, and misleading piece of information about the target. There we go. So basically there is a 25% chance of gaining useful information, and then there is a 5% chance of gaining something that is wrong and misleading. So I think that would be interesting because the players are never quite sure if it's true or false. But overall, the bow is more useful than it is unuseful. And so I think that makes it interesting. The DM rolls the die secretly. Yes, that's a good point. Huber, Huber, I don't know how to say it, man. The DM rolls a d20 in secret. There we go. On the result of 15 or above, the DM tells the player a valuable piece of information about the target. If a 1 is rolled, then the DM tells the player an untrue and misleading piece of information about the target. Beautiful. That's awesome. I like that. All right. This magical bow shoots good fortune. It also tastes like a fortune cookie. When first found, the bow is encased in a edible, transparent wrapper. Like a fortune cookie, except that it's like plastic. It's not quite edible, but there you go. And then once per day, the bearer can cast a spell augury. And we're going to say the arrows fired from this bow. The arrows fired from this bow are... Should they be magical? Like, should they be magical for the purposes of bypassing, like, resistances? Or should they just be normal arrows? That's what I'm wondering. I kind of want to make it like normal arrows so that we can give this out. We can make this an uncommon item. And then we can give it out at lower levels. Because this is a fun little item, you know? I think it should be non-magical. Are non-magical. I think that's what we're going to do. I don't want to give it too many properties because I want to be able to give this bow at low levels. Because this is a fun little item that I think will be really cool. But if you make it magical, like magical arrows, then this becomes a rare item, and I'm going to wait to give it to you until you're like higher level. You know what I'm saying? All right. There we go. That's good. Now, okay, we got to do our little thingy. What? We need a name, guys. Can we brainstorm a name for this bow? Like, I don't want to call it the fortune bow necessarily. If somebody's spamming Gilmore, can you take care of that? Give them a timeout or something? I hear somebody saying stop spamming. So if you see that, if you could help, that'd be great. What name can we give for this? Not the fortune bow. What's a better name? It's got to be a better name than the fortune bow. I made that up, and it's probably not good. All right. It is a weapon. It's a weapon. Let's make it a short bow, because I think that's more universally useful. Like rogues can use it and stuff like that. So it's a short bow. We're gonna call it uncommon, and I don't think it should require attunement. Yeah, this doesn't feel like it's powerful enough to require attunement. The only problem is that casting the spell augury, people could just pass it around in the group to cast augury. But in my experience, augury is not a very powerful spell, so I don't think I really care if they pass it around to cast augury. The cookie splinter, the bow of knowledge, Szechuan desert bow. Oh, Szechuan desert bow. That sounds cool. The bow of fortunes, magical 8 bow. That's not bad. Magical 8 bow. I like that. The fortune Fletcher. Oh, that sounds cool. The fortune flinger, the foresight, the bow in a china shop, the tattletale. Ooh, that's cool. If it were like something that not a bow, that would be awesome. Pain and gain, bow of foresight, prediction stinger. You know what? I think, what was it? Fortune Fletcher. For whatever reason, Fortune Fletcher, I think, sounds really cool, because Fletcher obviously is a person who makes arrows. And so I think we're going to call it the Fortune Fletcher. That's really cool. All right, we got the Fortune Fletcher. All right, next magic item. All right, guys. More ideas for magic items. If you posted an idea already for a magic item and we didn't pick it, feel free to repost it one time. All right, and then I'm going to read through some more ideas and pick an idea here. Oh, that's interesting. A compass that can be attached to a creature and forces them to continuously move toward one of the 4 cardinal points. That's interesting. A cigar box that causes any magical spell scroll put in it to become a cigar. If one of these cigars are smoked, the spell is cast. Huh. That's an interesting concept. You'd have to convert spell scrolls into cigars. That's a cool idea. I like the compass idea. That sounds really cool. A hag's eye. Let's go with, oh man, there's some good ideas. Okay. We're gonna go with this compass idea. Where was that? So Aaron Heidenreich says, a small compass that can be attached to any creature and forces them to continuously move towards one of the 4 cardinal points. So I'm going to give this a working name. We're going to call it the compass thingy. That's our working name. All right, let's flesh this idea out some more. We need to flesh this idea out. I don't know about attaching it to a creature. Like, what if you used it in a different way? Hey, thanks William and Victor for subscribing. Appreciate that. Oh. Instead of attaching it to a creature, What if you used an action to target a creature? A small compass. We can say the user can use an action to target a creature with the compass. The creature must make a... What kind of saving throw would that be? What kind of saving throw? I don't want to attach it to a creature because that introduces a complicated game mechanic, I think, where like then the dungeon master is going to be like, well, how do you attach something to a creature? So I think I just want to like, you can hold on to it and then you just focus on it and it can target somebody. A will save. Wisdom save. Wisdom save. Usually when you're losing control of your own body and stuff, that's a wisdom save, isn't it? It's usually a wisdom save, I feel like. All right, so wisdom. What level of save? Let's make this. Let's aim for this to be a low-level magic item. A charisma save. I could definitely see it being a charisma save. Well, let's look up a spell. This feels like you're kind of losing a little bit of control over yourself. So like a dominate monster spell or something. What is like dominate? Dominate monster is a wisdom. It's a wisdom saving throw. I'm gonna go with wisdom. I think DC 13 is pretty good. Few things use intelligence. Yeah. But this is This is not an intelligence save. This is losing control over my own willpower, my own ability to control my body. And that is typically either a wisdom saving throw or a charisma saving throw. And I think wisdom makes the most sense. But you can change it if you want when you use it in your game. Must make a DC 13 wisdom saving throw or be forced to move to use their movement on their next turn to go in a direction of the user's choice. North, east, west, south, or west. How's that? So you got to use an action to get them to do it. Now, here's the thing. Do you have to use your action every turn to keep forcing them to do it? I feel like if it only works for one turn, then it's not nearly as useful. I almost feel like, but then again, if I use my action and that creature just starts running off and I don't have to do it again, I can just keep targeting every creature and have them running off. And that would be too powerful. If we're going to do this at low level, then I think it makes sense. I have to use my action and then that creature will run off every time I use my action. But it only compels them for like, or make it a concentration spell. You could make it a concentration spell. Yeah, that's not a bad idea. Because if you make it concentration, then they can only do it on one creature. Yeah, that's cool. I like that. Must use their movement on their next turn. On their subsequent turns. To go in a direction of the user's choice. The user must concentrate on this as though it were a spell for this effect to persist. Otherwise, it only affects the creature for one turn. And then we'll say, at the end of every turn, an affected creature can make a new saving throw to end the effect. I don't think that that's like the best wording possible. Like, I feel like if we were like selling this or something, we would want to like tweak the wording because it sounds kind of like cumbersome. But I think we have expressed the idea of this. You have to concentrate it as though it were a spell. Otherwise, it only affects them for one turn. So we now have a mechanic where they can only use it on one creature at a time. And then the creature gets a new saving throw at the end of each of their turns in order to end the effect. But you can basically compel a creature to like run off in one direction. We're playing in 5th edition, so it's a wisdom saving throw. 3.5 is a will saving throw. I like that the user can choose the direction. I think that that's good. Compass of misdirection. That's a cool idea. Usually it's worded, can attempt to save each round. Can attempt a saving throw to end the effect. Yeah, let's brainstorm ideas. Let's brainstorm ideas for the name. I kind of like the name Compass of Misdirection. I think that's pretty cool. Yeah, I know, Joe. Dude, like, I do the same thing. Make a reflex save. Ah. I just ran out of coffee. I think I don't have any more. I think I'm out. That's not good. Usually that's bad. Compass of Misdirection. We're going to go with Compass of Misdirection. That's a pretty cool name. Compass of Misdirection. Can we get a description for this? Give me some ideas for what this compass looks like. What does this compass look like? We have a really cool name. We have refill time. We're going to call this is a wondrous item. I feel like this is uncommon. This is not that powerful. I don't think that this needs attunement. I think that it's fine without attunement. Yep, it's at the end of their turn. A small silver compass with the arrow always spinning until it affects a target. Oh, okay. This is yeah. A small silver. This is a small silver compass whose directional arrow continuously spins to point in a random direction. When the compass is used to affect a creature, see below, the arrow stops spinning and points in the desired direction. Nice. I like it. That sounds cool. You can cast no direction. What is no direction? Like, I'm not super familiar with that spell. Does it just tell you the direction of something? Like, is that a low-level spell? Like a super low-level spell, or is that kind of powerful? I'm looking that up right now. I'm not familiar with that spell. Where is the K section? Is that in here? I don't see it. I do not see a spell called No Direction. It does not exist in 5th edition. Not in my book. Okay. Kim, hello. What's going on? Welcome to the stream. All right, ladies and gentlemen. I think that's good for that magic item. So we have the Cat Whistler, the Fortune Fletcher, the Compass of Misdirection, and there were no matching pages found for those terms. Please try again. That's hilarious. All right, new magic item. Ideas. Magic item. Throw them. Brainstorm. Let's go. Let's do this. Well, Kim just joined us. So Kim and anybody else who has not signed up for our giveaway, today we're giving away some more of our tactical tokens because these things are awesome. So there is a link down in the description where you can sign up to get some of these things. And the password is zombie. So hook yourselves up with some of these bad boys. And we're going to pull a winner at the end of the stream. And I'm going to go see if I have any more coffee. I got like a little bit. Like my coffee pot had like just a tidgeon left in it. And squeaky. Squeaky. Sometimes Squeaky will just like roll onto his back and show off his like white belly. It's adorable. But he's just going to sit there for now. Yeah, that's Squeaky. That's one of my goofballs. Squirty Pie and Chipper are like over there. Oh, he's like, hello. Hello. He's like, if you're going to make money off from me putting me on video, then like you have to pet me. All right, let's get back to some magic items. People are like, Luke, we don't care about your cat. We did not come here for a cat stream. We want magic items. What? It's complaining. All right, you have to pet me. A teleporting tent. Okay, so where's this idea of a teleporting tent? That sounds interesting. A teleporting tent. Where's this idea of a teleporting tent? I missed the teleporting tent idea. Teleporting tent. Ah! Can you repost it? What's the idea of the tent? Yeah, Aaron. Can you what's the idea? So I like the idea of a teleporting tent, but I missed the first post. But that sounds interesting. What's the idea? What's the idea? Help me out. Help me out, man. Teleporting tent that has a broad range of teleport, coast to coast. So that just you can teleport in it? So you can go, so everybody gets into the tent and then you can teleport somewhere? Wait a second. What if you had, I mean, is that it? There's got to be a quirk to it. There's got to be, what else could we do? Like, let's think of something. Like, I like the idea. You get into the tent and it teleports you somewhere. But I want there to be, like, something quirky about it. Or dangerous. Or interesting. You know what I mean? Like, what else could we do to that? And I'm going to put the teleporting tent. This is a working name. We'll get a better name for it after we're done brainstorming it. What, Squeaky? No, you can't. You can only tell. So wait, it should just. So we can say. Once per day, the tent can be used. Is it once per day? Teleport is a pretty powerful spell. What level spell is teleport? I'm trying to figure out what the frequency should be on teleport. I feel like teleport's a high level spell. Teleport is like 5th or 6th level. I'm looking it up right now. It's much faster than looking in my actual book. It's a 7th level spell. Okay, so it's a 7th level spell. I think I'm going to say once per week, the tent can be used to cast teleport. There we go. We're just going to reference the spell because that prevents us from having to create game mechanics around the teleportation itself. But let's see. What are the quirks and stuff? It has a one. So there's already, like, in the teleport spell description, there's already a chance of it taking you somewhere else. Maybe it takes you to a different plane of existence or something. It just teleports if everyone inside is sleeping. I like that idea, Arthur. Once per week, the tent can be used to cast teleport. However, this feature can only be used as part of a this feature can only be used as part of a, I want to say long rest. Can only be used when all of the occupants, whoa, I pushed some wrong buttons over here. Maximum 8 people is probably, wait, how many people can you teleport with the teleport spell? You and up to 8 willing creatures. Maximum 8, that sounds fine. This feature can only be used when all of the occupants, maximum 8, are asleep within the tent. Sleeping creatures, yeah, we'll say sleeping creatures teleported in this way are magically asleep for 8 hours. Upon waking, they will have arrived at the destination determined by casting the spell. Which I guess what I'm trying to say is, like, you may or may not arrive where you want to arrive because you might have a mishap or you might actually go where you want to go. But the idea is that you have to fall asleep and you must sleep for 8 hours. And then when you wake up, you're at your destination. That's the idea I think I'm going for, because it is a tent, you know, so you got to fall asleep in it. If you fart in the tent, you don't travel. Okay. Everybody's just like, or they kick you out. You're out. You're not staying in the tent. You dream the destination. Oh, man. If you don't sleep, you fall to the abyss. Oh, that's interesting. All right. What's the additional quirk? Oh, wow. That's interesting. If you don't use it once a week, it will automatically teleport to a random location and then you lose it. Oh, that's interesting. I think I like that idea. That sounds cool. That sounds cool. If the tent is not used every week, it randomly teleports. It teleports itself and all occupants, if any, to a random destination on the same plane of existence. So you just got to use it every week. You know what? That's interesting. You know what? You know why that's an interesting mechanic? Because it forces the players to use it every week. And, like, instead of just never using it until they actually need it and then be able to use it right away, they have to use it at least every week. And it's possible that they use it and then, like, 2 days later, they need to use it again, but another week hasn't passed yet. And so they can't. So I think it introduces an interesting game mechanic, if that makes sense. Yeah, like the professor's like, they lose their tent and it teleports back to them 5 levels later. That could be really funny. Okay, cool. All right, I think that's a cool magic item. So, we need a name for it. Can we brainstorm a name for it? Being able to cast the spell teleport is fairly powerful. So, it's at least a rare spell. I think this is a very rare. I think this is very rare. Being able to teleport is very powerful. This is not something that I would want to give players until they get to like 11th level or higher. And so I would call this very rare. So we're calling it very rare. This does feel like a wondrous item. Wondrous item. Very rare. And we're instead of saying once per week, we're going to say every 10 days. And then we're going to say if the tent is not used every 10 days. And then once the tent is used, yeah, we'll say something like that. But that's a bad game mechanic. This is because if I have to use it every 10 days, then the only time I can ever use it is every 10 days. If I want to teleport at any other time, I could never do it. So let's say if the tent is not used at least once a month. How can we fix that? Oh, there's got to be a way to fix that. How can we fix that? Toxic slips in unnoticed. What up, dude? You just made us notice you. Maybe we say if the tent is not used like every month, once a month or something. $5 days to recharge, auto teleport if not used in 2 weeks. Yeah, let's do that. Let's say that every 5 days, the tent can be used to cast teleport. If the tent is not used within 10 days, it teleports itself in all. There you go. So I think that gives it a little bit more. I think that works a little bit better. Or we could just say every 7 days. And then if the tent is not used within 21 days, I don't know. Does that seem too complicated? I think we're getting into like way too much complication here. And my brain is like overheating. I think I'm going to call enough on this and just move on. 14 days? Yeah, let's say 14 days. So every 7 days, but then if it's not used within 14 days. Okay, done. Yeah, we're becoming too complicated. Let's just move on. A fortnight. That's interesting. People say fortnight, and like I don't know what that means. Like there's this one dude who creates videos and he's like, a new video every fortnight. And I'm like, I don't know what a fortnight is, dude. Like I have to look that up. Did you just tell me how many weeks that is? or days or something? It's my ignorance. Well, now I know because everybody's writing it into the chat. Now I know. Okay, anyway, we need a name for this. You guys all put a bunch of names in it, and then I was not paying attention to you. Tent of Destinations. I'm scrolling up now so I can see your names. Tent of Dreams. Dreamcast Tent. Traveler's Tent. Teleporting Tent. Vocal Kitty. Yeah, my cats are all very vocal. Meow. Dreamcast Tent. The Homely Tent of Drowsy Travel. 7-day recharge. Tent of Traveling Lands. Tent of Wanderlust. Tent of Dream Travel. Tent of Traveling Dreams. Dome of Tent Portation. Wow. Oh, I don't know, man. There's a lot of interesting ones here. Let's go with, I don't know. Let's just do Dreamcast Tent. The Dreamcast Tent. I don't know. I didn't see one that was like, ooh, but they're all solid ideas. So we'll just pick one. We'll just go with one. The Attentive Teleporter. Oh. Tentportation. The Dreamwalker. Sega. Oh, I kind of like that idea. The one, Attentive Teleporter. I think I want to do that. Let's do that one. The Attentive Teleporter. I think I like that. Oh, we didn't. This is a tent that can accommodate 8 people. There we go. Done. Done. All right. Are we moving on? Let's move on. All right, guys. I am tired. I'm getting sleepy. Whoa! I almost spilled my coffee. So we're gonna do one more magic item, and then that's all I got because I'm tired and I want to go to bed. So we need to brainstorm some more ideas for a cool magic item. How many do we have so far? We have 1, 2, 3, 4. We have 4. We got 4 magic items. What are you gonna do? It's progress. Check it out. Got a cat fight going on. This looks like Squeaky and Guapo. Let's see what happens here. This is going to be good. Look at that. Paleo Miner, thanks for subscribing. Oh, check this out. Oh. I want to see who wins. So, like, the one who wins is the one... Well, the loser is the one that gets up and runs away first. So we just got to see who wins this fight. And then we're going to pick a magic item to create. So this is like a stalemate right now. Nobody's really committing to it. Neither of the cats are really going in for the kill. Guapo is fighting defensively on his back, and Squeaky is like looking for his move. Both of their tails are kind of twitching in anticipation. Guapo is looking like he's about to stand up. I think Squeaky is just... There he goes, and he goes in for the kill right there. Oh, but Guapo was ready for him. He rebuffed him with some leg kicks. All right, Squeaky is looking for it, and he goes in for the kill again. Oh, see, Squeaky is probing his defenses. He's just probing his defenses. And then Guapo gets up. Oh, and Guapo runs away. All right, there we go. And the winner was Squeaky. So whoever put their money on Squeaky just won. Did you like that? That was like my color commentary for the cat fight. Like, I should be like, a color commentator. Okay, that was awesome. Let's, this might be round 2. Because Guapo is back behind that stuff, and then Squeaky is going after him. Oh, nope. Squeaky just is going to go look out the window. Okay, anyway, let's get back to this. Let's get back to this business. That's the wrong camera. There we go. That's better. All right. Anyway, Squeaky won that. Okay, ideas. Oh, Oyster Wolf put $25 on Guapo. You lost your bet, buddy. Squeaky won. Let's see. An amulet of dumb luck. All right, reading ideas here. I'm just gonna read through ideas. Something that makes me laugh or calls my attention. We're gonna go with. Let's see. And earrings that whisper things in the ear of the one wearing it. A belt of cat wrestling. A flying toad. Bet magic item ideas on your cats. A dragon statue. We have Uh-oh. Tropical Boy. Friday's doing all right. I'm getting tired, so we're about ready to call it. We're just going to find one more item. I'm like trying to like scroll through ideas, but like stuff keeps jumping around. A stringed instrument. A jar of many voices? That sounds interesting. A jar of many voices, says the Boxed Gamer. Tombstone Pile Driver. I don't even know what that is. Oh, man, I don't know. I'm like tired. My brain isn't working. My brain stopped working. The cigar box. Oh, you know what? That was an interesting idea. The cigar box idea. Philip Ketchup's been posting that every time I call for ideas. He's like, look at my cigar box. My cigar box. Okay, we'll do a cigar box. All right, cigar box. This is what we're doing. The cigar box. So the basic idea, so what we're starting with is a cigar box that causes any magical spell scroll put in it to become a cigar. If one of the cigars are smoked, the spell is cast. Maximum cigars are 2 at a time, but the smoker is vulnerable to something. Okay, let's flesh this idea out. Let's flesh this idea out. What could we do here? You have to put magical spell scrolls in it and they become cigars. Why would you want to do that? So what is the incentive for doing that? So like there needs to be a reason that this gives some benefit. That I'm sacrificing a spell scroll to make it into a cigar, that if I smoke the cigar it casts the spell. But I could just cast the spell from the spell scroll without using the cigar box. So there's got to be a reason that I would actually want to use the cigar box. There has to be like an advantage to doing that. So we need well, spell scrolls are already spell storing. I can have infinite spell scrolls and cast them. So there's no advantage of storing spells with that. Oh, by smoking it. That's a good idea, Cody. He says by smoking it, the spell is cast at 1 or 2 levels higher than normal. Ah. I kind of like that idea, dude. That sounds pretty cool. Oh, and you're hiding that the spell is being cast. That's a good idea, Sean. Okay. So now we have some reasons to do it. Okay, I like this. Okay, so this is a common looking cigar box. The user can use an action to place a spell scroll into the box and convert the scroll into a cigar. When smoked, the cigar when anyone uses an action to smoke the cigar, it casts the spell. It casts the spell at, there should be a random dice. Like you roll like a d4 and it casts the spell at that level plus a d4 or something. It casts the spell at 1d4 levels higher than normal. Furthermore, anyone who smokes the cigar, anyone can smoke the cigar and cast the spell. Not just the user or a spellcaster class. Whoa. Another cat fight. Alright, so there's some benefits to it. What was the other idea? So it casts it a little bit higher. And now you guys are talking about like poison damage or something like that. If it raises a spell that is powerful, a damage spell at +4 can break an encounter. Maybe 1d2 then? Yeah, it sounds like people are thinking 1d2 is more reasonable. So let's do that. 1d2 levels higher than normal. Okay, let's do that. Oh yes, without the need of verbal or somatic materials. Verbal or... What are the three materials? It's verbal, somatic, which is casting, or material. But the cigar is the material component, so you have to use that. Okay. Without the need of verbal or somatic... How do you spell that? Somatic components. Okay? All right. How's that? We need some sort of drawback to it. I think that no components and anyone can use the cigar spell is already powerful enough. No need for the spell levels on top of the rest. Yeah. That's true. What if we make it so... What if we do it so that if you want to, you can try to make it more powerful when you smoke it, but doing so then triggers some negative consequence. And what would that negative consequence be? What could the negative consequence be? When a cigar is smoked, the smoker can choose to cast the spell at 1d2 levels higher. But what's the negative consequence? Remember, kids, smoke. Yeah, we're not trying to encourage smoking through this magic item because that's not a good thing to do. Be poisoned? Poisoned isn't that bad though. And you're blinded by the smoke. Temporary constitution drain. Smoker lungs. You get smoker lungs. The lips get stuck together. Lung scarring. Wow. Necrotic damage to the lungs. 1d6. I feel like taking 1d6 necrotic damage is very minimal. For being able to cast a spell 1 to 2 levels higher, a little bit of necrotic damage, like that's an average of 3 damage or something. That's like nothing. Lose your hit points forever. It can't be too harsh, but it needs to be something reasonable. You get fish lips? Gain a negative hit die. Necrotic damage. What's something interesting though besides damage? Like I get that we're all saying like take necrotic damage, but that's too easy. Like something more interesting. Exhaustion sucks. Like 1 level of exhaustion is not that horrible. 2 levels of exhaustion is really bad. But like I think exhaustion might make sense because you're smoking a cigar. If you want to cast a spell higher, then there should be a fairly negative consequence. Remember, we can choose. We don't have to cast it 1 or 2 levels higher. We can choose to cast it or not. Cameron's like, smoking sucks. Trust me, I'm exhausted. Okay, let's do exhaustion. You can cast a spell at 1d2 levels higher. However, doing so causes the user to suffer 1d2. Doing so causes the user to suffer an equal amount of levels. Wait. To suffer levels of exhaustion equal to the number of levels higher the spell is cast at. I don't know if the wording is that great on that, but I think it makes sense. This is Luke wanting to go to sleep, trying to just get this out on paper, you know? All right, how's that? How does that sound? I think it's okay. So it has a basic benefit, which is pretty cool, and you can push your luck to get something else out of it, but you're going to suffer for having done so. So I kind of like that. All right. Yeah. What is the what's the rarity on this? So this is a wondrous item. Wondrous item. How rare is this? I feel like this is, yeah, we need to brainstorm ideas for it. I almost feel like I want to look up the Ring of Spell Storing and compare it to the Ring of Spell Storing. Ring of Spell Storing. Because this feels very similar to the Ring of Spell Storing. That's a rare ring. You can store up to 5 levels of spells at a time. Now our cigar box can just store, it could be like 14 levels of spells if I put 2 level 7 scrolls in it. So I think it's at least rare. It's at least a rare thing. And then where's our magic items thing? Magic items. It's at least rare. Should it be very rare? I don't know if it should be very rare. It's definitely not an artifact. It's definitely not legendary. I don't feel like it's legendary. It's rare or very rare, and I'm kind of on the fence there. Kind of on the fence. Kind of. Razul says, warning, be ready for your fighter to twin smoke fireballs with an action surge. That's hilarious. I have no idea if it's rare or very rare. I see a whole bunch of people saying rare or very rare. It can make 9th level cigars for everyone to use. It can, but you have to have a spell scroll. And 9th level spell scrolls are not super easy to find. And they can be very expensive. You know what I mean? And so I feel like that's going to be the limiting factor. Like, how many high level spell scrolls do you ever really find? And are you going to put in there? And then if you find a spell scroll, a wizard is probably going to want to scribe it into his book. I don't know. Okay. I'm gonna put very rare. I have no idea. I'm on the fence. We need to make a decision. I'm putting very rare. Does it need to be attuned? Does it need to be attuned? Decisions. Ring of Spell Storing needs to be attuned. Anybody can smoke the cigars. Yeah, I think you need to maybe attune to it. I don't know. This is the one where I'm like, I'm uncertain. I don't know. I'm gonna say requires attunement. I'm not sure if that makes sense or not. But you can always, I guess you could always attune to it. You can attune to anything. You can attune to anything. You spend a short rest or 1 hour of concentration and you can attune to anything. I see a lot of people saying no attunement. You know what? I think that here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to say no attunement. And the reason is that you're converting spell scrolls. It's not like you have unlimited spell scrolls that you're going to convert. You're only going to have a limited amount of spell scrolls to convert. And that's going to be the limiting factor. So I don't think we need to require attunement. I think it's good without attunement. Okay, there we go. Bam, we're done. We got that. All right, so we're gonna do our giveaway. So I will pull a winner for our giveaway. If you have not signed up for the giveaway yet, this is your last opportunity to sign up for the giveaway, and then we're gonna pull a winner, and I will announce the winner. So that's the site you're gonna go to. The password you need to put in, the special secret word or whatever, is zombie. So if you haven't signed up, go sign up for the giveaway. You can win some of these tactical tokens right here. They're really cool. So go do that if you haven't done that yet. I'm going to pull a winner in just a few seconds here. Now, these magic items I created, I'm going to put those up for download. You guys can download those and use those. And I'll put a link down in the description of the video as well once I have those available for you to download. It won't take very long. And then I think what we're going to do is the next time we do a stream, I think we're going to create some villains together. Like I did this community post where I polled you guys on like what we wanted to do. And it looked like magic items was winning. And then creating a villain together like pulled ahead. And so then I felt bad. So like next time we have a stream, we'll create a bunch of villains together. So that's what we'll do for our next stream, which it might be next week. I'm not sure if it's next week or the week after that. I think I might be skipping a week and taking a break, but we'll see. I might do it next week. I like doing live streams. I always tell myself I'm going to take a break, and then I'm just like, no, let's just do a live stream. All right. It might be next Friday. We might skip a Friday. I always announce it on the channel. I always put a community post out there. I announce it on Twitter and stuff. If you're not following me at Twitter, not that way. You can follow me at Twitter right there. There's some information for you. And if you follow me on Twitter, I always announce my live streams on Twitter. Okay, let's pick the winner of the giveaway, and then we're gonna wrap this bad boy up. My cat agrees. All right, let's find a winner. Winners. We're going to draw a winner. Ooh. Drawing a winner. The cat. Guapo, what's your problem? All right, let's see. We need to verify this dude. Let's see if he put the proper password in. Stand by. He's got the zombie. He's got zombie in. This looks like a valid winner. So the winner is Stephen S. Stephen S. You, sir, have won. I don't know if you're still here, buddy, but congratulations. And then I will email you, Stephen, to get, like, you know, where you want me to ship these bad boys and all that good stuff. So, yeah. That's it, guys. That's all we got for tonight. I'm done and I'm tired. I'm going to bed, and I'll see you guys maybe next week, and we'll do another live stream and all that kind of stuff. And for all those folks who ask questions and didn't get answers, I always kick off streams, almost always kick off streams with Q&A. And so you can ask your questions at the next stream and all that kind of stuff. So thanks a lot, ladies and gentlemen. It was fun. I think we got some really cool magic items done. And I'm really tired, so I'm going to sleep. Yeah, that's how we do things around here. We stream until I'm exhausted. I will post the items. Yep. Everything we posted for download for everybody down in the description of this live stream. So there you go. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm out of here. I got to do my, like, sign off my funny face. So until next time, let's play D&D.